Hey guys, today we're going to be talking a little bit about file encryption and what it is and why it's important. So, for those of you that don't know, if your computer is ever hacked or stolen, a skilled computer technician can easily get into your computer and access all your files, all your personal messages. If you have your mail program on your computer, they can go through your emails and basically steal anything you have on your computer. So what I'm going to be talking about is encrypting your files. And what encryption is basically taking your file and adding a whole bunch of random, well, it appears random data to your file, and it makes it completely unreadable without something called a key to unlock it back to its original state. So the program I'm going to be showing you how to use today is TrueCrypt, which is a free open source program. So go ahead and pick your appropriate download it and install it. And now I'm going to go ahead and open TrueCrypt. So the menu looks something, your menu should look something similar to this. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to create a volume. And what a volume is, it's a container. And we're creating a container that's going to that's going to hold all of your encrypted files, folders, or documents that you want to be encrypted. So everything is going to go into this container. So the first thing we want to do is create a volume. So we're going to create an encrypted file container. So let's go ahead and hit next. We're going to use the standard TrueCrypt volume. We're not going to go into the hidden volume right now. We're just going to go through the standard procedure. So now we're going to select the file that is going to be our container. So I'm in my documents, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to name it something vague like container. I don't want to name it anything to do with the fact that it's an encrypted volume. Okay, so if anybody finds container on my computer, they're not going to know what it is, and there's no file extension, so they're not going to know how to open it. Okay, they won't know that the only program is TrueCrypt that can open this container. So once you decide where you want to save it and how you want to name it, then you go ahead and hit save. I'm going to click never save history, so there's not a log of my activities. Okay, and when I hit next, you see that we choose our encryption method. Now you can do your own research on the most advanced encryption methods out there. We're just going to go ahead and use the advanced encryption standard. Okay, same thing with your hash algorithm. You could, from what I understand, Whirlpool is probably the most advanced hash algorithm, but we're just going to go ahead and use the standard on both of them, and we're just going to hit next. And this is where you decide how big your container is going to be. For my purposes of this video, I'm just going to make a 2 GB container for my volume, and then I'm going to hit next. And this is where you create your password. Your password is basically your key that's going to unlock your volume, so that all of your files and folders inside your volume will become decrypted, and then you can interact with them. So pick something pretty long. I'm just going to use this password. Okay, see, you can also use key files to unlock your volume, but I recommend just in the beginning, when you're getting used to TrueCrypt, just use a password. Okay, see, it's telling me that it's not 20 characters long. Are you sure I want to do it? I'm just going to go ahead and hit yes. Now this is where we decide the file system. Now you can choose a FAT or NTFS. Um, because I want this to be readable on multiple operating systems, I'm going to use FAT. That way it'll work on Linux, Mac, or Windows. And I'm going to leave the cluster size as default. And if you notice, the more I move my mouse, notice this random pool keeps getting bigger and bigger and just kind of more randomized. So the longer I move my mouse on here, it's encrypting, or it's creating the encryption. So after I do this for about maybe a minute, then I'm going to say that's probably good. Then we're just going to hit format. We're going to let it do its thing. And now we've created our container. So go ahead and hit exit because we don't want to create any more. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mount our volume, because right now it's hidden, it's unusable, and it doesn't show up on my file system. If you see this, my file system under computer, all I have is my local disk. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the volume I just created. It's called container. I'm going to hit open, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a drive letter to mount it to. And these are all the available drive letters. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the top one. We're going to put it right on the D drive. So when I hit mount, it's going to ask for that password. Okay, and I'm going to hit OK. And now you see that on the D drive, I've now mounted my container. So if I open up my file system, now I've got it appears as a FAT32 volume. It's got 2 gigabytes of storage, and I go in here, and now I can create folders. I can create files, or of course I can drag and drop files and folders and documents that I've already created and put them into this container. And then when it's mounted, I can interact with these, okay, just as if they were not encrypted. But here's the trick: when you dismount, now when I go into computer, it's no longer there. Okay, so what you've done is you've hidden it and you've encrypted it. And if you guys have any questions or concerns about using TrueCrypt, feel free to give me a message or write a comment. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.